a bit of texture in the...
Right, very quickly over on my left, your right, as you're coming down. This is George's mound. That's his sole purpose in life is to keep that. It's all dried vegetation and it's rotting, which we know produces heat. Now George has heat sensing pads on his feet, and he walks around his mound with his feet, and he's also got one on his beak.
Sure.
And the idea is that he can, if it's too hot, it's not that it goes in there, it goes in there and sits down and alright, we'll head now to the outflow. You will see vesicular lava at the top. Underneath that is a layer of hard lava which has been compressed. All the gases have been pushed out up through the top lot, and the vesicles have released it out into the atmosphere. Now if we come down the wall a bit, there's another layer of vesicular lava, another layer of hard, another layer of vesicular lava, another layer of hard, and it continues on down, and it goes down a long way under the ground there, because this is not the original floor of the lava tube, and I'll explain that when we get further in. Now, we know that this is Undara lava, and it's 190,000 years old, and you can see the depth of it. It was very deep. This one here, well, we'd have to work on about 230,000 years. Okay, for those coming down the stairs, when you get down here, don't do it while you're walking down the stairs. If you look up at the ceiling, you will see all of these individual rocks, and you can tell that by the cracks that are around them. Now that is called polygonal joining. Builders use it today. When they build an archway, they put the bricks, brick, and then they put a keystone up the top which holds the whole lot together. Go very far.
One more coming.
One more.
Det er godt. Real trick, because it's very rare to see here. And when I say we may see here, the reason being is I don't have the filter here to turn it straight into the hole. Or just under the rock, they can't see it. She's actually did a really good job today, I don't think we can down the shot. No, that's because of it. Yes. Over here you see the lava level, the lava flow line, and on this side of the cave you will see exactly the same thing at exactly the same height. Explain to you, you remember when I told you that the savannah country likes fire and our remnant rainforest doesn't like fire, and that our indigenous people started to burn the country off. Now what they were doing was creating a grass habitat for the macropods, and as I said earlier, the macropods, the more grass that they get, the more they breed. So they were basically producing or restocking their food pantry. That's the easiest way of telling you. And when I get further down the road, I'll show you what goes on. Now, my background with fire is 22 years with the City of Bunbury Bushfire Brigade, and I've been to many different fires around the state, some of them small and some of them extremely large. So firefighters call what the grasses and all the leaves building up on the ground, they call that fuel loading. Now, this country will produce will produce 7 tonne of fuel loading per year, and that consists of dried grasses, the leaves which will continually fall off our native trees onto the ground and just sit around them, and also dead branches and so on. Now if I pull up just here under the tree where it's nice and shady, if you have a look out on the left hand side, in that grass, in amongst all that green grass, you will see dead grass standing up in amongst it. Now when this grass dries off this year, exactly the same thing will happen. On the other side you don't get that effect because this side was burnt last year, and this was black pretty much up until December. There were the odd green shoots here and there, and so that has been burnt, and there is very little fuel loading in there at this time. Whereas on the other side, we've probably got 12 tonne to the hectare of fuel loading. Alright, so what we do is we burn this off in what is called a mosaic pattern, exactly the same as the indigenous people did. They'll burn that side this year and this side will stay. Now the reason this side will stay is that all the animals living on that side, when the fire goes through, they'll come and live on this side. So we're not getting rid of any habitat or food source for the animals, and we are doing what we call a cool burn, and that will mean that on a day like today when there's a little bit of breeze, nice and warm, still moisture in the grass, the parks people will come along, and depending on which way the wind's blowing, they will go to the opposite side of the wind and light the fire, and that will burn back into the wind, which means it will burn slowly. Now the idea is to get rid of this fuel loading, and it also does two other things. One, because there's still moisture under the ground, it will start to shoot the trees, the grasses that are burnt off. That will reshoot, and you'll have fresh green grass there. So not only have the macropods got this side here which has got green grass, they'll have fresh new grass over that side as well. So what we're trying to do is reduce the fuel loading to stop a catastrophic bushfire. Now catastrophic bushfire is a bushfire that's usually started by a lightning strike, and you've got a very high fuel loading.